Sometimes the world looks like you ain't ever seen it before. Stuck behind never-ending windows, all you need is a door. Searching for something to put a smile back on your face. Just remember, in unusual times, it can come from an unusual place. You need a partner for the ride, 'cause everybody needs a Clyde. So set your worries to the side. Just ask, say the word and I'll be there. Just ask, you know the greatest things in life all come in a pair. They say hindsight's 20/20, but that ain't far enough behind me. So if you want the sweetest honey, I think hindsight's 1990. There's no need to pretend I got a hand I can lend, 'cause when you really need a friend, just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to slay another day? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sara Fergenson. Sarah, how are you?
Jessica, it's my party and I will kill if I want to. I'm ready.
Yeah. Big Drew energy this week. You love
These
it.
flowers are no good. And then I throw them across the room.
Mm-hmm. She's really extra about her parties in a way that I feel like you are as well. So
I
that
maybe
works.
have never related more to a character in my life. This is the Drew show. I am fully in. I know I loved Daddy Vamp's last season. Don't know him anymore. I'm all about Drew. I don't even care about Spike. Spike's in a wheelchair and is kind of a loser. I am obsessed with Drusilla, the vampire from Romania who got, terrorized by Angel, what's his face? Like, justice for her. My favorite person in the galaxy.
Yeah, we have a lot to catch up on this week for season 2, episode 13. Surprise. We've been off for a hot second, and this is the first podcast you're recording being back since your move. How did everything go? Update the people.
Yeah, so for the unaware, I just moved from St. Louis. I was in St. Louis for about a little less than a year. Before that, I was a lifelong Jersey girl, and me and my partner Adam moved from St. Louis to Indianapolis. So I am now a Hoosier. You want to? Yeah,
that's what they call them.
People from Indiana. Yeah, you want to hear one of the stories? It's one of those like old wives' tales about like who knows where the origins of Hoosiers are.
Okay,
but the story goes is that there was a bar fight that like broke out in Indiana. And somebody picked up an ear and said, "Whose ear?"
Ew!
Which has made everybody in Indiana a Hoosier.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story that I've been told.
Are the accents there much different than the accents in St. Louis?
No, it's really a mix, I would say. Not from St. Louis. I think that if you get a little bit more south of Indianapolis, you get like a real like Southern adjacent, Tennessee adjacent accent.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm very bad at picking up accents. I remember when you and I met, I was like, we have the same accent. And you're like, no, we don't.
We don't.
And I was like, yes, we do.
Did I tell you that I saw, did I send you this TikTok? So for years now, people have poked fun at me because instead of saying elementary school, I say elementary school and documentary instead of documentary. I saw a TikTok. This is it's insane how hyper specific it is. It is apparently an upstate New York thing that we say elementary. Had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea about that either. So the move itself went really well. We got a lot of support and help, and we're really settling in. And it's basically we're moving from a 1-bedroom apartment with 2 adults and 2 dogs to a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, or as I like to call my Midwestern mansion, for for stupid little amounts of money. So if you want to live in a Midwestern mansion, I would say just move to the Midwest. Indiana specifically has very cheap real estate and rent prices. So yeah, now I have my own office. Adam has his own office. We have a guest bedroom for when you and your husband come and visit. You can even bring Rupert, your new puppy, because there's a big ass backyard. So I finally feel like an adult, you know?
Yeah, that's great.
I grew up. So that's kind of where we're at. So just settling in. There's always like a little project. Today I built that bookcase that's behind me. And I put up that calendar that is reflecting a lot of light. So audio medium, maybe not for long, but
we'll see.
See. So yeah, everything is like so good. How about with you? How is motherhood?
Not too bad. We're still dealing with the play biting, but that is just a phase you got to go through.
Yeah.
He's lost 2 teeth already. So
are you saving it?
Absolutely not. No. I know some people do, and I kind of do judge you about it because I find it gross. Like, I don't want to keep, I don't care if it's your child's tooth, your animal's tooth. I don't want any of them. They're teeth. They're gross. Throw them out.
Do you think that you're going to participate in the tooth fairy?
I feel like it's, I mean, with a child, you're asking, not.
Yeah, I don't mean like you're going to like start it up now. As an adult, you start getting tooth decay and lose a tooth, and you get $20 for it. You have to pay 20, not even $20.
No, way more than that.
Thousands of bucks to deal with that.
I think it's one of those things where I will have to. Right? Like you
not necessarily. I mean, I've told you.
You know what I will not do though? I'm going to put my foot down right now and say something I will not do. I will do tooth fairy because it's kind of like it happens every once in a while, and it's only for a few years while they're losing teeth, whatever.
I know where you're going with this, but go on.
I will never, and you can write this down in pen. You could carve it into anything.
Okay.
I will never, ever do fucking Elf on the Shelf.
I knew it. I know you so well. I knew that you're going to say that.
The holidays are stressful enough with like having to buy gifts and prepare your house for guests and like wrap presents and decorate and get a fucking tree and do all the cooking and cleaning and all of that shit. You have to move a fucking elf around every single night and get new ideas for where to put this motherfucker.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like on Etsy, there's like Elf on the Shelf kits.
I'm not spending my money on that. Absolutely not. No, it's stupid and I hate it. And it traumatizes the children too, because they're not supposed to touch the elf. And so then if they touch the elf, it's like it ruins the elf or something. And then they cry because they accidentally touched the elf.
Yeah. I mean, as you very well know, I can go on and on about childhood traumas. I don't know if I have an opinion on Elf on the Shelf because I got nothing to believe in as a child. They said, yo, Jew, there's no Santa Claus.
That's what they said.
Yeah, none for you. There's no Easter Bunny. You stupid idiot. There's no Tooth Fairy. So
wait, Tooth Fairy isn't a denominational.
No, it's not, but I mean, it's a story. My mother listens to this podcast, and I'm sorry, but I'm still paying for therapy about this story. But I was a late tooth bloomer. Like I probably was late in getting teeth, but I was definitely late in losing teeth. I didn't lose my first tooth until first grade. Some people lose their first teeth like when they're 4. I don't know. But I was, the second tooth I ever lost, I was so excited. I brought it to my mom and she dropped it in the couch. And I was having a full-on meltdown tantrum because I was like, Tooth Fairy's not going to come, blah, blah, blah. My mom basically was like, there's no effing Tooth Fairy to shut me up.
She should have just said that the Tooth Fairy will always find it in the couch. Don't worry.
I know. I don't know. I mean, I've worked this out in therapy like a handful of times, and I know this. I do. So.
I love the idea that you've had this conversation with your therapist just about the Tooth Fairy.
Yes, of course. It was traumatizing talking about childhood trauma.
That's really funny.
I mean, I know. A lot of people are just like, get over it. But you know what, Boomer? I can't get over it because I'm a millennial. I got a lot of feelings.
Did I tell you that? I think I told you this, but did I tell you that
Mhm.
my niece, she is 9 years old.
Hazel? No.
Nope, that's the younger
Hazel's the
one.
younger one. Yeah.
Yeah, she knows that Santa isn't real.
Mhm.
And she, like, you know, kids, how kids are. We were visiting them and I was about to go into the bathroom and for whatever reason she was following me and she's just like, I gotta tell you something. And out of
Mhm.
nowhere. Like we weren't
Mhm.
talking about Christmas. We weren't talking about anything like that. I have no idea why. She
Yeah.
just comes up to me and she goes, I know Santa's not real. And I didn't say anything because I'm like, I don't want to be the one.
Yeah.
Like if she's testing me,
Where did
you
she get this
know?
intel from?
I think it's like other kids because she's
That's
older.
cool.
She's
Yeah.
old enough to know.
Wow.
But she's
Yeah,
like,
the mean streets of the playground, they are dropping truth bombs.
yeah. So I didn't say anything because I was just like, okay. Like I don't want to
Good
ruin
to know.
anything.
I'm going to write that down and remember it. I love that information, young child. Yeah, my
Mhm.
goddaughter Gia, she's like afraid of everything. And once again, this is like talking about childhood trauma one more time and then we can finally move on. I was at like it was a year ago because it was her father's birthday, which is on 4th of July. And one of the kids at the party lost their tooth. And like all of the kids had like they were young enough to never have heard this concept. But Gia got so traumatized about the losing tooth thing because like when the kids
She
lost a
didn't
tooth
want
and
the
she was
fairy to come.
bleeding, she's like, and like she's like, I don't want to lose teeth, like I'm so scared. And then she's like, I don't want the tooth fairy to come, like that's so scary. So eventually she was just like, there, like she found out, like there's no tooth fairy.
Yeah.
So Gia's in the know. She also knows about Santa. She's like 4 years old, but it's because she's so afraid. She doesn't want some creepy old guy coming in.
Oh, so they had to be like, listen, it's not real, but don't tell your friends.
Yeah, so then she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, she like tells me like it's not wheel. It's not wheel. And then she's like, she always calls me Sawa. She's like, Sawa, it's not wheel. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I know it's not real either, Gia. You're not telling me anything I don't know,
I've been
Gia.
new since I was like
know.
4, Gia.
Gia. But she's a gem. I have this like little flamingo magnet that she painted me. It's right here.
Wow, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Such a talent.
She's, I mean, like,
Such a
let's not
young
go
talent.
crazy. I mean, it's just
Listen, people love it when you say that their kids are talented, okay? So on the
She's not
off
my
chance that your
kid.
friend is listening to
No.
this, her
Dina,
child is talented.
my friend Dina does not listen to this podcast.
Oh, well then screw Dina. Her child has no talent.
Hey, she's my goddaughter. I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Anyway, let's talk about
Buffy.
surprise. Yeah. Surprise. Yeah, let's talk about this episode because this is a big one where this is a part 1 of 2 parts. And I made the mistake of watching this like literally the day after we recorded our last podcast.
Yeah.
And then I had to wait, and I'm still waiting to watch the part 2. But that's okay. I rewatched it this morning. I'm really excited to talk about it because we've got lore updates, we've got character updates, we've got I love yous, we've got sex, this episode has pretty much everything you could ever want in a Buffy episode, I gotta say.
Who had sex?
Did Buffy and Angel not have sex in this episode?
I don't know. I thought they just said I love you.
I don't know. They were in bed together. We'll talk about it.
So they're just snuggling.
Were they? Because there was like making out, there was like clothes coming off.
Wow.
There was
saucy.
They were in the rain, which always leads to sex on shows.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I watched
crying.
The Notebook.
Yeah. But let's start back at the beginning because that's at the very, very end of the episode. Buffy has a dream, and her dreams are sometimes prophecies. So this is a little scary for her because she dreams Drusilla is alive and she's like walking through it's been so long since we podcast, the Bronze. That's the name of this place, right? They're walking through the Bronze and she's like seeing all this weird stuff, like Willow's hanging out with this monkey. It's just like very weird, but
it's weird.
Yeah. But there's her mom, and her mom asks her like, oh, do you really think you're ready? And she drops a plate and it breaks. And then there's Angel, and he's like smiling at her, but then suddenly Drusilla pops up and kills Angel, and that's what wakes up Buffy. And she's very nervous, Sarah, because this could be a prophecy that Drusilla is indeed alive or unalive,
Yes.
undead,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah. It's like a double negative. She's undead,
There you go.
re-dead, but
No,
still
re-undead.
undead. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she is correct about that. They are, I think, too naive to think that Drusilla and Spike are gone and dead, especially without seeing the puffy smoke and
Mhm.
the disintegration or like the weird skeletons. Of course, they're still alive. I'm surprised that Giles is not more on top of searching for these two, but they're like, yeah, out of sight, out of mind. No
Yeah.
problem. We have bigger things to worry about, like stupid, smelly eggs. And yeah, so Buffy's very concerned, and she, of course, like usual, brings it up to the Scoobies and Giles, and they're like, "No, Buffy, it's just a dream. It would never. It would never."
I felt like Giles did a decent job of being like, okay, good to know. Like, we'll keep an eye out on things. You know, he seemed to at least take her seriously. But Buffy does the very like, okay, she's really scared. So she visits Angel on her way to school, which is like her morning time, his nighttime. And you could tell they're at that stage, Sarah, where it's like they both kind of want to say I love you, but like neither one of them like wants to be the first one to say it.
Yeah.
And they also like are kind of on the verge of having sex, but it's a little bit awkward because there's like the, oh, I like seeing you like before you go to bed. Oops, did I just say that?
It's very this episode was probably for me the most soap opera-y.
It really was.
Between the music and like how the dramatic the acting was and the choreography between these two actors, but I really enjoyed it, and I didn't mind it. I know that you are probably less of a fan, but I think that the time where you're courting each other before things are super serious is like one of the most exciting times of a relationship. And I just think too, when I was in kind of this like nowhere's land of like what can you say that's too much, and like where is this going to go, it's like really exciting. I think that there are a couple steps farther towards that. I don't know, like I do the kids not say I love you after a month anymore? I remember I've always been a quick I love you person.
I don't know if that's a common thing anymore.
Yeah, is it even a big deal? I mean, I'm such a lover. I throw out I love yous like a fucking slut, but
I was just gonna say you're an I love you slut.
I'm an I love you slut. Yeah.
I'm whatever the opposite of that is.
Yes. I mean, like I think that you actually have to love the person, right? You've said I love you to me. You love me.
Yes, but it's very rare for me to say that to my friends.
Yeah, it's because I'm special.
There you go. You're very special. But
special, like needy, special, like
like you better say it back, bitch. That kind of special.
I mean, I mean, like I do think that you do. So,
but yeah, that I agree with you. This is like the schmoopiest of all schmoops, and it's a lot for me personally. It feels very exactly like you said, soap opera-y. So it's not. I'm great with romance stories. Like, you want to give me a romance story? Fine. Okay.
What's your favorite
sure.
romance story?
Oh God, I don't know. My favorite.
Who's your favorite couple of all time?
My favorite, like, TV couple?
Yeah, I mean, don't say yourself in Will. that's not what I'm asking.
I really do love Chandler and Monica. I think they're like a really fun pair.
And I think that that's like I think that that's a good example of the type of love that you have. It's a friendship first. It's something that evolved over time. And like they very much love each other, but they're not like hanging all over each other. Like I think too, like Rachel's always on Ross's ass. Like she's a clingy girl.
She's a sit on his lap kind of girl.
Sit on the lap. Yeah. Like Chandler and Monica, like when they're behind closed doors, they're all over each other, but like they're not like up each other's asses all damn day.
Yeah. Which is why we're not going to do the relationship ratings just yet. We've been informed that there is a certain episode that it would be more appropriate for, so we're going to hold off. But we'll talk about the blooming relationship that is Oz and Willow, and why I think they much more fit the vibe of a relationship I enjoy watching. But can I also just say, and I don't want to upset people, and this opinion may upset
I'm upset.
people. I don't think you'll be upset, but it might upset some people.
Okay.
I don't find David Boreanaz, who plays Angel, attractive. Like, pretty
Really?
much at all.
Huh. Why
I don't
is
know what
that?
it
What do
is.
you
Like,
mean?
it's not like I don't think he's like an ugly man by any means. Like, I could see like aesthetically why people would like him. I just don't find him attractive, and I don't know why exactly that is. But I will say I did think the chemistry was better in this episode than it has been in the past, and maybe it's just by like they've been doing it long enough now where it's like it's improved.
Yeah.
But they're very much all over each other, and this is where it first gets mentioned that Buffy's birthday is coming up. She's turning 17.
Buffy's birthday.
Yes.
Did we learn that Buffy was a Capricorn at one point? Is that true?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know. I
Buffy's
don't know for sure.
birthday. Yeah, January 19th, 1981.
Okay.
I know a couple of people that have that birthday.
So she's a Capricorn. Makes sense.
A Cap. Yep.
Yeah.
Hard
And I love
worker.
that. I love that right after. So he asks what she wants for her birthday, and she says, "Surprise me." He says, "Okay." But I like the breakdown of the conversation that follows this, where Buffy and Willow are kind of like, "Oh, and I said I like you at bedtime." She's like, "You said that?" She's like, "You have moxie."
Yeah, I really do enjoy Willow and Buffy's girl talk conversations, especially when Xander's not there, because they can just be like girlish. It's just very realistic, I feel like, to have these conversations and like have a crush and like talk it out with your friend about it and get excited. And especially, I know that like we've talked about this a lot, probably more so Felicity than this show, but like this was the type of stuff like when me and my friends were first thinking about having sex, like we talked about like, what do you think it's going to be like? And like, you know, did you do it? And like, did it hurt? Like, was it good? Like stuff like that. And it's just like when you're at this age, 16, 17, there's just like a lot of like excitement. And this is how really people learn about the birds and the bees, because our parents don't really do a good job talking about it. But you learn from your friends, and it's just like really cute to see them have this conversation.
I especially liked it because as compared to modern shows, I like that they kind of talked around the fact that they were talking about sex. You know what I mean? They didn't come right out and say. It's just Buffy's like, well, when you get to a certain point, like they both know what each other is referring to. And I really liked that. And I totally agree with you. It felt way more natural for it to be Willow and Buffy having this conversation, because if Xander was included, first of all, he would just be like, Buffy, no, it's too soon, blah, 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 blah. Like he would be, you know, dissing Angel, blah, blah, blah. But then the conversation switches, which I like that now there's like this reciprocal sort of thing where now that Willow is interested in Oz, Buffy can say, and like Buffy's a really good friend here where she's like, no, like you're fine. Go talk to him. Like you have, like, don't wait for Xander. Who gives a crap about him? Go up and have a conversation and you'll just see what happens. Ask him out on a date. And, but you know, Willow is understandably nervous. She has not had much experience in this regard, but the reason I really like WAS, as I'm calling them, is because it does feel like very jokey, very jovial, very friendshipy, but like cuter, like friendship, but add flirting. And that's what I really liked.
Yeah. It's once again very of that age, 16, 17, where it's like we're not having like major conversations about like, you know, do you want kids? Like, what's your political beliefs? It's just like very like cute and flirty. It's just as my favorite Taylor Swift song from the second half of the disc, the whatever the fuck it's called, the anthology, I don't know. So High School, which is a song about Travis Kelce. And she just feels so high school whenever she talks to him.
Yeah, it's really cute, right? I love the way Oz approaches this conversation with Willow because I feel like she lets her guard down when he says, "Oh, I was going to ask you to go out with me tomorrow night and I'm actually kind of nervous about it." Like it's really adorable the way he does that, and she's just like, "Oh, well, if it helps, I'm going to say yes." Like the back and forth they have feels very natural. It's really cute. And so he ends up getting invited to Buffy's
Berthie's
terrible,
birthday party.
terrible mess up of her name.
Buffy's birthday party. I really love the fact that Willow was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna say yes," and he's like, "Whoa, will you go out with me?" And he goes, "Oh, duh, I can't. Yeah, I have other plans." At first, I thought that was gonna be some sort of a joke, but it wasn't. She actually does have other plans because the Scoobies and Giles and Miss Calendar and Angel are throwing Buffy a birthday party or a Buffy birthday party.
A Buffy party.
And a surprise birthday party, which I love. A surprise birthday party. That is my number one dream in this world, is to have a surprise party. It's all I want.
We've talked about this in the past.
Somebody throw me a birthday party that's a surprise. I just want one. But he gets the invite, which I think is nice. I think it's good that he got the invite. Bring him into the Scoobies.
It feels like such a low stakes invite. I mean, nothing is low stakes when you're around the Scoobies, but in terms of, okay, it's a small gathering. It's just my friends. Like it's a party. So there's going to be like food and like, it's not going to be awkward. It's really low stakes instead of it being like, let's go to dinner and stare at each other for a few hours. You know, it's much more daunting to do something like that than it is to just go to a party together.
A group date. Group dates are great.
Yeah, especially in the early stages if you're very nervous about going on a date.
Yes.
And then this was very interesting. We have a Zordy update.
Yeah, I like what was going on in this episode with Zordy. Well, mainly I just like Cordelia.
I mean, obviously you like Cordelia. Literally in this scene, she says she's a chips and dips girl.
Yeah, I love it. She's like, "I have to cook. I'm busy." And he goes, "You're cooking?" She goes, "Yes, I am the chips and dips girl." And he goes, "Oh yeah, so rigorous, like opening up bags and stirring." And she goes, "Well, no, I have to carry it. I have to shop. I have to put it in other containers. I have to put it out." I thought this was so funny.
Yeah. And this is really interesting because they've been very casual about their encounters so far. And they both have been on the same side of like, no, have to keep this quiet, can't let people know. Now we're getting to the point where it seems, in my opinion, like Xander is catching some sort of feelings, or at the very least, he doesn't want to keep this a secret anymore for whatever reason. He wants this to be out. And Cordelia is very staunchly against this. She says, "Of course you want to tell everybody. I'm the one who has to feel ashamed of myself."
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of where we've been talking about how this relationship works because they're both mutually ashamed of each other. This is the issue. Now one wants to be public and the other one doesn't. And now it's like a weird power dynamic, and it's not so much equal anymore. And now like Cordelia is just being mean to Xander because she doesn't want to go public, but then they have this understanding. But of course, where are you going to go eventually? You just can't be a secret forever. So this is the issue with this type of relationship, is that one person is going to catch a different idea of what they want to do. And Xander wants to be loud and proud, and she is like, "I have to keep up appearances. It's bad enough I hang out with you losers all the time. I can't have a loser boyfriend too."
Yeah, she's very much against it. He kind of realizes like, gosh, why even bother asking? I'm an idiot. But yeah, interesting developments with Zordy happening this episode. And so this is when Buffy tells Giles about like having the dream. Drusilla is alive still. And Giles is like, "Listen, it's totally understandable, but let's like keep our eyes open. Let's try to figure this out." But we know it's a surprise party. So Buffy has no idea what's going on. And simultaneously, this is like a big party episode because simultaneously Drusilla is planning a party. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but like Buffy really, I mean, I think the Scoobies in general need to get a party planner involved in their group because Drusilla's party was leaps and bounds better than Buffy's surprise party.
Yes, that's why I wanted to ask you, which party do you want to go to? And of course, it's Drusilla's. This reminds me, Drusilla. Okay, this is such like a deep cut reference, and if anybody gets it, I love you for it. Jaclyn Hill, the makeup influencer that had the fuzzy lipsticks.
Yes.
She would throw Halloween parties every year, like really, really extravagant ones with like candles, and it was dark and with like roses like this. It reminds me very much of Jaclyn Hill's Halloween parties. But anyway, yes, it has candles. She has roses. She has party boxes that have parts of a robot demon type dude inside of it. I don't know what metal. I don't know what he is. It is the party to go to. She has music and she has like very specific taste, because if something's not quite right, she's going to throw a fit, and then whoever is responsible for whatever sort of shitty flowers get brought in, she's going to yell and be very angry. And I just loved watching this. And Spike's in like a mood. He's in a wheelchair. He's kind of like a dead weight at the moment. And he's like, Drusilla, why do you want to throw your party here when we can do it in Vienna? And she's like, this is what I want. I get what I want. These flowers are all wrong.
She can't abide them.
I can't abide them.
I love Drusilla, the like drama queen about a party. It's not a storyline I knew we were going to get, but it turns out we really needed it because she's incredible as someone who's like used to throw. I can totally picture her and Spike being like the best party like throwers. Like they're the best party hosts. They always have the good snacks and plenty of drinks, and like the decor is always 10 out of 10. And so she's really upset, but he says, listen, like I got you something. You could do just a little peek. It's for the party. And yeah, I love her saying it reeks of death. She's like so happy. And yeah, I think this is really interesting because we're certainly in a bit of a role reversal situation now, right? Where before Drusilla was really weak when she was unhealthy. She like wasn't doing well. She was constantly in a terrible mood. And now Spike is, a little sick or whatever. He's recovering. He's in a wheelchair.
He's unwell.
He's unwell, and Drusilla is the one who has more power, more life in her, if you will. And I like that despite all of that, he's still like giving her gifts and wanting to have her happy. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a little bit of a sourpuss, but he also is still trying to make Drew happy. And that's what we want.
Of course he's trying to make Drew happy, but he is just, I don't know. I just thought that he would be like more badass, I guess, in the beginning of the season. Maybe he just needs time to cook.
Well, he needs to, I mean, he was badass and then he got hurt and now he needs to heal again before he can be badass again.
Yeah. I guess I just need patience.
I mean, I really like the dynamic that they have. I think it's fascinating, like how it's changed. And I'm sure it will change again because we've seen the situation where one of them is sick and the other one as well. We haven't seen a situation where both of them are very healthy and recovered. So that will be really interesting. Will there be some sort of, fight for power or equality? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. What kind of party is this? Is this just a random party / a welcome party for this person that they're trying to assemble?
See, I thought the person was like a surprise for Drew from Spike. This is what this reminds me of. When I took Spanish in 6th grade, we had a teacher and we had so many teachers. For some reason, they could not hold down a Spanish teacher that year. I think I had 4 teachers in the span of 1 year.
You think that they're all just saying adios?
You're so funny. So you look
I
a little bit proud of yourself for that one.
no, exactly. I'm not proud.
And one of our teachers, I think she was like from a Spanish speaking country. And she, like sometimes occasionally, she'd be like, on Friday, we're having a fiesta. And we'd be like, why? And she would just be like, because we can. Like, she just wanted a fiesta just randomly sometimes. And I feel like that's kind of how Drew is, where she's just like, okay, it's party time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want a fiesta.
She would always just like a fiesta. And it was like, okay. And we'd like have fun. It was great.
Yeah. You would get like Mexican food up in there.
I feel like we would just get pizza, but I don't remember.
There's no fiesta.
No.
Okay, so it's just a party. I don't think that the guy is a surprise. I think that she knew it because they were talking about collecting the different boxes.
I guess so. It's just like she says, "Oh, can I look at it?" And he says, "Just a peek." But maybe he just doesn't want her to like open all the boxes before all the parts are there.
Yeah, yeah.
No, some assembly required.
Big assembly required. It's like when you buy your kid that little like Barbie Jeep and
it doesn't come with batteries.
Yeah, or like the Barbie Dream House. You have to spend all night before putting it together.
Can I give someone like everyone listening a tip on like a really good item to either buy for someone that you know is like a practical person, because not everyone will love this gift, or it's a perfect like white elephant sort of gift.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Battery Daddy?
I have heard about the Battery Daddy. Yes.
So the Battery Daddy, for those who don't know, I think it's like an as seen on TV sort of thing. And anyway, it looks kind of like a briefcase, but it's for batteries. And I know this sounds silly, but we all live day to day having to use like AA, AAA, like all these types of batteries. And then
sometimes
they end
even
up
D.
Sometimes D. And then they end up wherever, I don't know, but the Battery Daddy has them all organized in one little like briefcasey thing, and it comes with like a thing where you could check if the battery is dead or alive.
That's so good.
It's really helpful. So not to like, I'm just saying if you know someone in your life, because I've talked to Death. I asked for this for a gift for like Christmas one year because I love it so much.
Yeah. And you too can have your own Battery Daddy if you just go batterydaddy.com and enter in the code shit90pod.
We're not sponsored. What if we were?
$10 off your Battery Daddy. Battery Zaddy.
Battery Zaddy. So let's go back to Buffy and Joyce. It's officially her birthday. I want to ask you, because Joyce is going to take Buffy on like a mall shopping trip on her birthday. Were you ever given this opportunity? I feel like this was never something I did with my family, where it's like you go pick out your own gifts. Like it was always, they were wrapped and I unwrapped them.
I don't remember as a child, but one of my favorite gifts that I've ever been given was being brought to a Home Goods and told go ham. And I was able to just shop around, and that was great. I mean, I think I had like a limit, like I think it was like some sort of limit, but yeah, like I kind of like being brought to an establishment and just like being like full reign, whatever I want to get.
I do too, because I think there are certain things that you're like, oh, but I wouldn't buy this for myself. Like, oh, it's just a little bit more than I want to spend, or it's kind of unnecessary. I love this idea, especially if there always seems to be some tension between Joyce and Buffy. And I feel like this is like a really fun bonding experience as well for them.
They can bond on shopping. The only issue is that Buffy is ready to drive, but Joyce feels like Buffy might not be ready yet, which is kind of something that she saw within her dream. And the plate breaks just like in Buffy's dream.
Yeah. I also think this is bullshit. Joyce, let Buffy do like a driver's ed course and then get her license. Like, come on now. Don't hold her hostage.
Is it that Joyce doesn't want to pay for an additional car?
I mean, just because you have your license doesn't mean you have a car.
Joyce did not take off the price tag on the bottom of the plate that she broke. That is tacky.
I do not like that. No, you take that sticker off right away and then you wash the plate to get the goo off the back.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't know why Joyce's stickers are still on, but they are. And that is Not great. Okay, so I am so excited to talk about the next scene because that bitch, Jenny Calendar, I knew that was a fake ass name. I knew it. I knew that she was up to no good. We find out that she is here for nefarious reasons. She is just doing her stuff. I don't know. She's in her computer classroom, and this like Romanian guy is like, "Hi." I'm not going to do Romanian accent, but he's like, I am here to monitor you, Jenny Calendar. Or what's her real name?
Her real name is Yana. It's
Yana.
spelled Janna. And he says she's of the Calderosh people.
Yes.
We are not going to say the word that he says she is because it is definitely an offensive word that people should not be saying anymore. I looked up online and it is said that Roma is probably the better word to say, or Romani, as you said, he's
Romani.
Romanian.
Yes.
So that is
These
probably
are my
Yes, go ahead.
people.
Yeah, there you go. And
Yeah.
so, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but it
Mhm.
seems like based on this conversation, he's pissed off because he's like, Angel is dating a girl. He's super happy. Like, why
Yes.
is he allowed to be happy? He should not be able to be happy. And he says, you forget he just destroyed the most beloved daughter of your tribe. So
Yes.
he's referring to Drusilla.
1,010% he is. Yeah.
So this is interesting because to update your family tree post-it note situation,
Mhm.
Jenny or Yana is somehow connected to Drusilla. And like
Mhm.
maybe not by blood, but they're in the same quote unquote tribe.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this makes a lot of sense because the Romani people, I guess, like, because we've been talking a lot about how like, oh, Drusilla is like special, like she has like
Yes.
extra powers. And so like in pop culture and culture, there's a lot of like mysticism, and I'm thinking of like tarot. I'm also thinking
Mhm.
about some sort of like witchy type nature, which probably it makes sense with Jenny Calendar because she is this techno pagan, but like she's witchy. She's part of the
Yes.
same witchy coven as Drew was, and it was her job to come here and oversee Angel and make sure that the curse is not lifted. And yes, like this guy, I guess it's her uncle in some capacity, or some older gentleman is there because for whatever reason the trackers say that Angel is too happy, and he's like, what's going
Mhm.
on? And Jenny's like, well, the curse is still cursed. He is still feeling these human feelings. And he's like, but there is a girl. And then the guy is like, you fucked up. And it's like, well, not really. Like, what is she supposed to do? Like, break up this couple? Like, she's kind of like not
Yeah.
very much involved. I don't know.
This is so fascinating to me because of the fact that it's not that Jenny's job is to kill Angel or anything. No,
Mm-mm.
that's far too easy of an out for him. They want him to suffer forever.
Yeah.
And by suffering, that means can't get a girlfriend. So you need to pry Buffy away from him. It's just so funny to me. It's like, don't kill him, make him suffer. And by suffer, we mean no sex for him.
Yeah, no sex, only depression. Like, if he goes to go
Mhm.
get some Zoloft, then you better like throw
Yeah.
out his prescription. Like, he must be miserable and sad.
He
for
must
all
feel the
time.
feelings and only bad feelings. I don't want to
Yes.
see him smile.
Yes, he has smiled way too much. So
Mhm.
basically, the dude is like, get your act together and like break them up or separate
Yeah, and
them.
this really layers. Okay, this puts a whole new spin on the Jenny separates herself from Giles because the demon enters her body and she's freaked out by it, right? You called that out as being like, girl, you know what you signed up for. Now you're backing
Mhm.
away. It seems to me that now it's totally different. We can view that totally differently because it was Angel who saved her life. And so
Oh,
she's
she's
kind of
probably like mixed feelings. Like, How can
Yes.
this person that I've been told all my life is like terrible and horrible be the same person that like saved my life? Like maybe he's
Exactly.
not that bad. Like maybe like what they've always been saying is not true. And maybe she needs some time away from the situation to kind of like work that out in her head.
Well, also, I think there's something to if she's not involved with Giles, also then by proxy involved with the Scoobies, what she doesn't know, she isn't responsible for reporting back to her other members of her tribe. You know what I mean? So if she takes
Yeah.
a step back, she's like not just protecting herself, but protecting Angel from like information she might find out. So I love that this is a reveal that we get now because it totally changes how I view her backing away from Giles and makes me wonder why did she is it just she how we have like a lot of questions now about Jenny as a character, right? Like does she actually have feelings for Giles? Like or was that a ploy to get close to the
No,
Scoobies?
no, I think that maybe at first, but I think that she does. I think that like it answers a lot of like, why would Miss Calendar be interested in Giles in the first place? And I think it's like, well, maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was just like assigned to keep an eye, but then she developed feelings. Like I think that she does have feelings for Giles. I don't think it's all a lie, but I think that her initial intentions about why she was involving herself in this group is different than she originally let on.
I agree, and I think it it's also interesting that she rekindles things with Giles prior to this guy coming and telling her like, "No, you need to make him miserable, take Buffy away from Angel and blah blah blah." Because I feel like if this scene, this encounter happened before she rekindled with Giles, we could say, "Oh, ulterior motives, like that's why she's rekindling with Giles." But it doesn't seem that way. And based on what we saw this episode, it doesn't really seem like she is trying to get Angel away from Buffy, but like in a way that isn't going to hurt either of them too deeply. So definitely something to watch. Got to keep an eye on Yana, aka Jenny Calendar. And see, Calendar is such a weird last name to choose if you're trying to fake a name.
I told you, didn't I say that? I
You said it
swear I
was a weird name, but like,
No, I said that that was the fakest ass name I've
well,
ever
either way,
heard.
like it's such a weird choice if you're faking a name, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely like, oh, this is an American word. Like,
Mhm.
she probably was speaking Russian or Romanian. And she's like, yes, this is an American word. Calendar, great last name, nailed it.
Yeah. Uh, so back to the Scoobies. Buffy is giving them the down low on like, yes, the plate broke, which means that the other parts of my dreams can come true. So she's really not in like the birthday party mood. And they're like, okay, just meet us here at 7. We'll like figure out a strategy. And so I loved this small moment where like Willow and Xander are like, oh man, does that mean the party is canceled? And Giles is like, absolutely not that like she needs a party more than ever. She only turned 17 once and she deserves it. And I was like, you're so freaking sweet,
Yeah.
Giles.
I mean, that was very
Stop.
nice of him. Like, it's very, very nice that he's like, no, she deserves a party. She deserves to be celebrated. That's great.
I loved
17 is
it.
not really like a good year to celebrate a party or have a party. Like you can't do anything at 17. It's not that special.
I disagree because when you're that around that age, I would say any age kind of like under 20 or under 21 probably is better. It feels like a bit every year feels like a big deal. Every
Mm.
year feels like I don't feel that different at the age I am now than I did like a year ago.
Mhm.
Whereas going from 16 to 17, I feel like you feel like you've grown so much. So, and for that reason, like, I mean, she probably didn't have a 16th birthday party. Like, I really don't think
That's
Buffy had a
true.
sweet 16. So
Mm.
she deserves this.
Okay. Well, she deserves it. Yes.
No. So Jenny interrupts Buffy as she's on her way to the library. And I was immediately like, oh no, no. What's she doing?
Suspicious. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, oh, he wanted us to meet you near his house. I'll drive you. And
Oh
again, we
yeah,
were all
I was
probably very
suspicious of
suspicious.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she just drove her to the birthday party.
She did. And again, I was very suspicious when all of a sudden there's like vampires that Buffy needs to take care of. And you're like, oh my God, oh no. Like, did she do this on purpose? And Buffy takes care of them, no problem. It's this freaking the same nerdy librarian dude as it was last time trying to take stuff. I forget this guy's name. Does he have a name? He probably does.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's a deado now. He's absolutely useless. Thank goodness he's gone.
Yeah, and luckily they get the stash, which is an arm.
Ooh. Thank goodness it was the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if you open a box and it's another piece of body? You're like, oh, this is not what I wanted.
That's fair. I feel like an arm, there could be so many, like, it would be way worse to see a head, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking a big blue schlong is in that box, and that would be worst case scenario.
It's a big dick in a box.
Yeah.
I guess so, but there's something comical about it being a dick, at least. Like, an arm isn't funny.
It's just balls then.
Just balls. I mean, head is probably the worst thing you could get in a box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're looking at a face.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
Maybe just like a box full of like voodoo dolls of all your closest friends.
Yes, that would be very creepy to receive as well.
That would be
I also
so
think
weird.
Like something hyper specific would be weird. Like if you opened a box and there was like a kneecap in it, that would be strange.
That would be strange. Yeah.
You know? A whole arm isn't as weird.
So Buffy comes in and is like, oh, I handled the vampires, and everybody's like, surprise. Oz is there and he does not seem that fazed by any of this, and I am sniffing something.
Oh, you're suspicious. See, I think he's just a believer. Like, he's the guy who's like, yeah, aliens are real. Yeah, ghosts are real. Yeah, vampires are real.
I think that he was like too cool for school. Like, he definitely knew that vampires are real. Is there a possibility that Oz is of the vampiric persuasion himself?
No, but I'm going to mark it down right now that Oz will get some sort of special powers at some point.
Yeah. Maybe like he's just like a niffler, like he can sniff out gold. Maybe I'm just calling him a leprechaun. I don't know.
That's offensive. I think he's going to get some sort of like either teleportation powers or like super speed powers. But can we talk about how sad this birthday party is? This is at the Bronze, right? It's at like a closed down version of the Bronze. Every set looks the same, kind of. Like the Bronze is the same as this location, is the same as the place where that guy with the cancer was going to get all the vampires to come and turn him into a vampire. Like all these places feel like the same set because they all have that same like metal stairway that comes down the middle of the room.
Right. Yes. Yes.
But this is a sad party. Okay. First of all, there aren't that many people here. These soul decorations they put some, what is that even called? Like the stuff around the pool table. Yeah, streamers around the pool table. There are some balloons, and I know you love balloons, Sarah. There are some of the balloons in balloons, which I really like.
I love balloons, and balloons inception is a gift from the heavens above.
Russian nesting balloons. Romania. So there's a lot.
It's all connected.
Who gave them the balloons? Who gave them the Russian nesting doll balloons?
I mean, it was definitely Jenny. Jenny was on balloon duty.
Yeah. Can we talk about the cake?
Yes.
It's weird. It's a single layer cake, which is only allowable if you're like a mom of a 6-year-old and you're going to make the cake yourself so you don't have to pay for it at Price Chopper.
Okay.
It's a single layer cake. It's white with pink icing. Yeah. And it's just like a circle. It's so boring. There's no pizzazz. Who made this cake? Who was it? Who was on cake duty?
Definitely Willow.
Oh, okay. Now I feel bad saying that.
Yeah, you know it is because it's decorated for like a child.
Yeah, and she was wearing that. We didn't comment on it, but just know I took note of the purple bucket hat.
Oh yeah, I know. That's implanted in my mind forever. I had
one that looked just like it, except it was navy.
Freaking loser. Yep. But it's a vanilla cake. I mean, I never turn my nose up at cake.
I like cake. I just think that these decorations are a little sad. Although I will say I love the party hat.
Yeah. I would be very happy with this party. There's like a balloon animal and a balloon.
I told you.
The balloons are 10 out of 10. I mean, like this.
Who was on balloon duty?
I think it was Jenny Calendar.
Okay. I
I
can see that.
really do. I mean, you think Xander's in charge of the balloons?
Definitely not. He would not
think
get these balloons.
Maybe Giles has a passion for balloons like me.
I feel like Giles would go all out on the balloons.
I love balloons.
Giles would be the guy who would go to like Party City or wherever he's going to get these balloons.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you recommend something? And they would just keep
Yes.
upselling him to finally get the Russian nesting doll balloons.
Yes, these are the finest balloons in all the land.
Exactly.
He's
We
like,
could do a balloon animal in a balloon. And he's like, sold.
he's like, this is what all American teenagers want.
Exactly. This will make her happy.
He's like, oh, I wouldn't know because I'm British and I'm an adult.
Do they even have balloons over in the UK? Who knows?
I've never seen a balloon in like a UK movie, so I
haven't either.
I would say probably not. They probably just don't exist over there.
That's really sad.
They have bunting though. They love bunting.
Yeah, I feel like bunting is not a good word for what it is.
Fabric triangles in a banner.
Thank you. That's what they should call them.
Maybe too descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I immediately was a little less sus on Jenny when she brought the hand in a box or the arm in a box in, because I was like, oh, okay, so she wasn't trying to like secretly nab that and bring it to the baddies.
Arm in a box, arm in a box. Gonna give my friend a arm in the box.
And then the arm in the box is gonna try to strangle Buffy.
Yeah, and it did. And they're like, this party sucks. That is unfortunate. She was almost choked out by the hand. But
yeah, scary moments.
She
Also,
survived.
I've consulted our British correspondent and he said, what's a balloon? And then he said, I'm being sarcastic.
I don't know. Angel saves Buffy from the hand from Thing, right? Is that what the hand is in Addams Family?
That is the name of the hand in Addams Family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Tap dancing. That hand does not tap dance. It just chokes.
Yeah. And I love that Angel does. I know people like Angel. He even gets his own spinoff, right? We know this. I'm sure there are plenty of Angel stands out there. Angel gets under my skin so much. And for all the hate I throw Xander's way, I'm going to give him some credit here. Mm-hmm. Angel's like, it can't be. She wouldn't. And it's like, spit it out, bro. And Xander's just like, what? Vamp's version of snakes in a can, or do you care to share? And I'm like, thank you, Xander. Yes. Angel, stop being like, oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. It's
it has to be super subtle. Okay, so he knows what this is. He knows that this is like an indestructible demon monster of some sort. Yes. That's like parts have been like hidden everywhere, and Drew and Spike have been working really hard to getting all the parts so that they can put this guy together to take down Angel and I guess probably Buffy as well.
Yes, because he's called the Judge. And he is going to separate the righteous from the wicked by burning the righteous down. Ooh. And because he couldn't be killed, they had to dismember him. And so, yeah, this is Drusilla is now reassembling him to bring forth Armageddon.
Okay. Now, this is my question. How does this lead to Angel being like, ooh, look at this. I gotta go. Goodbye. Because that was his solution. He's like, oh, now that this dude is coming, the only thing that I need to do is bounce.
Basically, Jenny says, right, so Giles is the one who says this needs to not be in town because once they get all the pieces assembled, the Judge will come back to life, basically. And Jenny is the one who says Angel has to do it. You're the only one who can protect this thing. I mean, you have to think about it. You can't just let anybody have ownership over this thing because the job is to protect it. And he has to skip town in order to do it. The biggest problem is that get the arm out of town.
Oh, he has to take the arm out of town. Okay, sorry.
Yes, because
I thought he was going to get something. I'm like, what is he getting?
No, he's bringing the arm away from Drusilla. And the biggest problem is he can't just catch a flight because the daylight will kill him. And so he needs to be able to like, oh, I'm going to go hop on a ship and then do this and then do that and stow myself away and blah, blah, blah. And he's going to be gone for probably like months. And he has to go on her birthday. He has to leave.
I mean, that's rough. Like, not on her birthday. But yeah, like Jenny Calendar kind of is like doing her job here because she's like very insistent that he's the only one that can do it.
Yeah.
So
Which, I mean, I don't think is inherently suspicious because I think she's right.
she's right, but also like this makes her uncle guy happy because he's separating them.
Right.
So, or she's
It's
separating
like
them.
it's two birds with one stone. It makes her uncle very happy to have Angel and Buffy not together while also keeping it out of Drusilla's hands. Therefore, Angel doesn't get killed, Buffy doesn't get killed, that sort of
It's a
thing. So
win-win-win.
it is. Drusilla is pissed off. This guy's name is Dalton. This is the nerdy guy with the glasses.
Yeah,
She
he's
is
horrible.
really upset. You lost my present. And I love Spike saying it was a bad turn. She can't have fun without the box.
She wants to kill him, and she should have. She should have just gone rid of him.
Yeah. I don't know why this cracked me up so much. Her stomping on the glasses and then pointing her fingers at his eyes and saying, "I'm going to blow out the candles," killed me.
Terrifying. She's terrifying. She was persuaded to not kill him just yet.
Yeah,
Boo.
she's gonna wait. She puts the glasses back on.
Murder him. Murder him.
Oh, it's so funny.
I vote for murder.
Yeah. I still love Drew's nails, by the way. I can't get
Ew,
over
they're
it.
so gross.
I love them.
I
Sound
like
off in the comments. Do you like Drew's nails? Just send us a message somewhere and let us know.
I like that they're painted. That's what I like.
No, I like the style. I think it's cool.
I hope you get it so then I can make fun of you.
Great. Look forward to that. So Buffy and Angel are saying their goodbyes. It's all sad. It's all schmoopy. He gives her a Claudia ring. Is that what they're called? The Irish rings.
Well, this sent me because I think that we've speculated like where we think that he's from. And I think that we're like, oh, he's like Greek or Roman.
We thought that, yeah.
Or
Italian.
Something like, no, this motherfucker's Irish. I can't believe it. He's like, this is the ring of my people. And it's like, wait a minute.
Charm.
I was like, you're telling me that this motherfucker is Irish? Irish? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away, and I'm expecting to get some pretty rough accents either in
I can't wait.
This show or Angel or whatever, but it's going to be a mess. And Buffy is obsessed with this ring. It's like a promise ring, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've seen these before. My mom had one, I think, for a while. I don't know if she still wears it.
Claudia ring?
I know what
it is, but
yeah,
I've never.
I think it's pronounced Claudia. But yeah, you basically, if you wear it with the heart pointing towards you, it means you're like quote unquote taken.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wear it with the way, it means you're open for business or whatever.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. So the heart represents love. The crown stands for loyalty, and the two hands symbolize friendship. And it is from Claudia Galway, obviously Ireland, and it's been around since like the 1700s. It's been in business for a while. I have a very interest in the aesthetic of this ring.
It's fine. Like, I'm Irish, so I feel like I can shit on this if I want.
Sure.
I don't know. I think they're kind of ugly.
They're ugly. You're saying they're ugly.
I think they're kind of ugly, but you know me, I'm very simple when it comes to jewelry. I do not like a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah.
They're fine. I like the sentiment. It is like a promise ring. It is cute. Angel is about to say, I love you.
Yeah.
It's a very schmoopy moment. It's very dramatic. How is the Angel relationship working for you at this point?
I'm happy. Like I think that it was the scene that I especially liked where she's like, don't leave me. And he's like, I have to. And then she's like, but on my birthday. And he's like, it's what I have to do. It's very dramatic. And I mean, I like the ring that he gave her. And she's obviously going to be like wearing the ring forever. She already has like 8 rings on, but you know, what's the 9th? It doesn't matter. And he has to leave. I think that what we need is some separation. Some separation could be good because
makes the heart grow fonder.
Makes the heart grow fonder. Maybe it'll make your heart grow fonder. Maybe it's just too much at one time.
It's possible. They get interrupted during Angel about to say I love you, and they get attacked by vampires. Unfortunately, they lose possession of the arm. And luckily, Jenny Calendar is there because she drove them to the docks. So I also got suspicious when Buffy comes back to the library where the rest of the Scoobies are, and Angel and Jenny aren't with them. And she's just like, oh, they went to go get new clothes. I'm like, oh, no. She's taking him.
No, I don't think she's taking him. I think that she just has to make him miserable. And I think that him going away on this mission is a job well done. Maybe. I don't know.
No, I definitely don't think she does anything suspicious here, right? Because we do see him again and he was just fine. But Giles gives us more information on this judge. His touch can literally burn the humanity out of you.
Ooh, yeah.
A true creature of evil can survive the process. No human ever has. This is a really interesting footnote. A true creature of evil can survive the process.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Drusilla and Spike,
mm-hmm.
I don't think Angel counts as a true creature of evil.
He's a demon, technically.
So maybe he can survive it.
That's what I'm speculating.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
The true creature of evil.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
But even Drusilla and Spike wasn't evil enough for him because he was like, you guys stink of humanity. Remember?
Yes.
So maybe even they are not evil enough for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who it would be. Even Daddy Vampire was like, I love all of my children. He did
have a fondness for children. Yeah.
He was a good man.
Mm-hmm. He was a good dad.
He was a great
Daddy Vamps.
He was a great dad. So I don't know who is a product of evil, but maybe we'll find out.
Either way, they're going to have to pull another all-nighter and do a ton of research. So they end up having to, they got to call all their moms and do what they call round robin, where they lie and say whose house they're staying at for the night.
Yeah, I've never done this before.
I've never done this either.
We're losers.
We are losers. But Buffy falls asleep while doing some research, and this is so silly.
She has another dream. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the thing that I thought was silly was when Angel's like, oh yeah, she hasn't been sleeping well. And everyone's like, oh my God, you fucking her? Are you guys fucking? And
she's no, she told me. She told you too.
Yeah, seriously.
She literally has been complaining that she hasn't gotten sleep in a week and a half. And everyone's like, oh, it's I didn't do anything. Even Miss Calendar was staring. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, what is this?
So funny. So in Buffy's dream, interestingly enough, she's at Drusilla's party, and it does look like the party looks, and she's following Jenny, and I'm very interested to see how this plays out in the next episode, because everything else in her dream sequence came true. That is how the party looked, and she saw all the boxes and everything. So is she going to be sketched out by Miss Calendar at all?
Yeah, probably, especially if Miss Calendar is kind of doing something to sabotage her relationship. I think that she will be.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think that she'll at least be a little bit concerned and maybe voice her opinions to someone who will be like, no, don't worry about her. You know?
Yeah. It's hard because Miss Calendar for 2 seasons has been incredibly helpful towards the Scoobies at times when she's not running away and being a pussy ass bitch. But she is she's been a great help. So it's kind of hard. I can understand that it's going to take some convincing.
Mm-hmm. So Buffy wakes up from her dream. Oh, Angel. Oh, thank God you're here. Oh my God. It's fine. It was just a dream.
This was very dramatic. Like, this was kind of stupid how like dramatic this was, and she like cries in his arms.
Thank you for noticing that, because I too thought it was a bit over dramatic.
It was like a little like
soap opera.
Woe is me, soap opera. Like, I'm a damsel in distress. I'm gonna have to throw myself at you. It was a little silly, but
yeah. Can I ask your thoughts on Drusilla's party attire?
Oh, 10 out of 10. She's the best dressed. She is, and she always will be.
Red is obviously her color.
It's
like this like silky gown, and it has like a cape situation, which I loved.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's just everything and more. She also has incredible arm muscles, which
she really does. I was literally thinking that earlier.
A little intimidating. Like, I mean, for a slight woman, she really is she's just something else in every single
powerhouse.
Capacity.
She also has dance moves for days, bitch.
Oh, she's dancing up a storm. She's just like getting down and boogieing. This is her party. This is her day. She's been trapped with the dolls for way too long.
I absolutely adore this. I thought it was so funny. I could watch her dancing on a loop because I loved it so much. She's more music. She absolutely loves it.
More music, make it louder.
And Spike brings in the very last box and they assemble it. And I love how each shape of the box is like the shape of the part of the body that's in it. So that when they assemble it, it kind of looks like a person.
Yes. I mean, like that sort of detail probably costs extra.
I mean, you know what else costs extra is all of this amazing like CGI special effects scene when he comes to life.
I mean, yeah. I also, when stupid, what's his name? Dalton burns up.
Yeah.
I mean, those were very special graphics.
It was very funny. So the judge is alive and he's like this large blue man, basically. You know who he kind of looks like to me?
Who?
He kind of looks like the baddie from the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
What's his name? The Infinity Stone guy. That guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we don't need to name him. It's fine. He doesn't deserve a name.
I mean, he kind of reminds me of him anyway because of the whole zapping thing.
And he's blue.
There
are a lot of similarities. Is it this guy?
Was he blue?
Wasn't he blue?
Infinity Stone.
Who is the Marvel villain?
I don't think he was blue. He was purpley.
He was Thanos. That's his name. Blue, purple. I mean, they're close.
Blue, purple. Blue and purple they're
close together.
I guess. So.
Yeah, he just is missing the horns on his head. The judge has horns on his head. This guy kind of looks like an extra in like Little Nicky.
Yeah. I mean, ew, I hate that movie.
So anyway, he comes out and he says that he tells Drew and Spike that they stink of humanity because they share affection and jealousy.
Yeah. He says, you guys are weak bitches.
Basically.
You know, you're not evil enough. I can smash you to pieces.
And he's like, bring me a party favor.
Yay!
And so Dalton gets zapped to death. And it turns out that normally Judge can he doesn't need contact. He could just zap someone, no problemo.
He's a little sleepy.
You know what? He's probably been in that box for like 3 score. So he really, or more. He really needs some life back in him. So he basically just burns Dalton.
Well, yeah, he has to give him a little poke. Normally he could do it from a distance, but he has to do the poke.
Drusilla's reaction to this was everything.
It was so good. She was like, yay!
She was giddy.
I mean,
do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Yeah, it's kind of like when you like hit the piñata and it blows up and you get all the candy. Like, let's get 9 more piñatas around here. Let's have a fiesta.
Let's have a fiesta every day.
Every day.
I'm ready to kick literally everyone else off the show and just watch Drusilla do Drusilla things.
I'm fine with that, honestly, truly. Like I'm totally fine with that. I at this rate, maybe it's just best that all the Scoobies just die and we just follow Drusilla.
I think they just need to give up. Yeah.
Yeah, they should. They should give up. They're too weak to win. Like there's no way that they're going to beat out Drusilla and the judge. The judge, I don't think that I'm that like impressed by. I don't really like the judge because honestly, he's just stealing attention from Drusilla. And isn't it enough that like, you know, why do we need to have a man steal the attention?
I mean, I like him as like a dumb meat puppet, you know, like he's just like it's her weapon. That's what you have to look at.
I don't know. Like he seems like he wanted to take control. I didn't really like it.
Well, we'll see. I think that Drusilla is stronger than him. So Buffy and Angel make a plan. They're going to go check in because now they know where Drusilla is. They're going to go check out, see how far they've gotten in the assembly of the judge, see what they're going to be up against. Meanwhile, she wants the rest of the Scoobies to do more research and figure shit out, whatever. And it doesn't go great because we've talked a lot about like Buffy's vampy senses and like, you know, and it seems like the judge has some sort of human senses, like human spidey senses, because he senses them immediately.
Yeah. I mean, they just really, really stink of humanity.
They also were standing directly out in the open. They're not even crouching down.
Well, I mean, Angel already threw one surprise party today. Like 2 surprise parties is way too much.
It's just ridiculous. At least crouch down a little bit, you know? But no, they're standing out in the open. At least Angel's wearing black. So they have to run. They get caught, and then this is where it gets a little silly and convoluted, right? Where the way they escape is like Angel pulls those school TVs that were on the ceiling, the hospital TVs. Yeah. He yanks them down. They crash into the floor, which crashes open, and the sewers are like right underneath. And so they do the sewer escape plan.
All right. Well, yeah, yada yada. I mean, they're going to get trapped again. This is the part 1 of a part 2.
Yeah. So they escape. They come out in the grate by the because everyone's always in the graveyard. So they come out of the grate near the graveyard. They've escaped, but Buffy is like devastated. Angel brings her back to his apartment. He says, "Oh, you're cold. Get into these warm clothes. I won't look at you." And she goes, "Ah." He said, "Oh, whatever is wrong, sweetness. I'm injured." Buffy, you're fine. You're going to heal. We all know you have healing abilities.
She's super healing, so it'll be okay. But she needs him to take care of her.
Can you look at it for me?
Yeah, kiss it.
Put some concentration on it for me, please.
No, kiss it and make it better.
He says it's already closed. You're fine.
It's like, yeah, you don't need the goop. You're good.
And we get more schmoopy moments of like, I thought I lost you.
I was worried.
We get the I love yous. We get their I love yous where Angel says, and again, this is why it's very soap opera-y. He says, "I love you. I try not to, but I can't stop."
It's a forbidden love, Jessica.
It's forbidden
love. Yeah. They kiss. They're in love. They say I love yous. I thought it was great. And you're right. They are in bed together and it seems very intimate. I don't know our rules as per the Dawson's Creek is it's not sex until there's like a confirmation.
It's not confirmed coitus for sure, but we do get a moment of like they're kissing and he's like, "Buffy, maybe we shouldn't," and she's like, "Don't, just kiss me." And then next we see them, they're laying in bed together, and Angel doesn't have a shirt on, worth noting, and she doesn't have a shirt on, so take that for what you will. He jumps up. He like runs outside. I don't really know why, because then he's yelling Buffy, and it's just like, bro, like you just left where she was. Like, why are you like? Is he like gonna turn into a werewolf? Like, what's the situation? Why is he running outside?
Like, he was having like some sort of like heart attack, or like he was in pain, or like maybe he was sensing something, kind of like when Harry Potter was like, whenever someone was close, like his scar would hurt. It seemed like something like that. He like ran out. He's like, oh, I'm in pain.
It's probably the curse. The curse is like,
the curse is manifesting in physical pain.
Maybe the curse is like a flare up of like diverticulitis. You know what I mean? Like it's flaring up.
Maybe the curse, like they re-upped the curse. Like maybe it's more than just like every time he's feeling happiness, then there's like a physical pain. It's like training a dog to stop doing bad things. Like we're going to need to like click the clicker. And then
but that's usually positive reinforcement. So this is the opposite. He's getting zapped.
He's getting zapped. Right.
Yeah. Sure. So that's where we end the episode, because he's yelling out for Buffy, and I guess we'll have to pick things up next time, because we don't know what the heck happens from here.
Yeah, he's kind of like dying out in the rain. He's a little soggy now.
He's very soggy. He just got dry too. He's gonna have so many wet clothes he has to dry.
Yeah.
So that was our episode. I really liked it. I'm really intrigued to see part 2. I have a feeling it's going to be just as exciting, because I feel like people are very excited for us to watch it, which usually means that it's a good one. The next episode, I believe, is titled Innocence, right? This one was Surprise. I think the next one is Innocence.
Ooh, okay.
So she lost her innocence because she no longer is a virgin.
I mean, maybe.
I'm just saying.
Maybe. I mean, I can see it happen. I'm very interested to know.
Yeah. We did get some email feedback. We got an email from Tara, and she says, Bad Eggs is definitely not the finest episode that season 2 has to offer.
No.
The lower quality episodes have aspects of season 1 in them. 2 more episodes later this season were actually supposed to be for season 1 or early season 2, and it'll definitely show. That's really, really interesting.
And it's not Bad Eggs?
I guess not. She says, the only scenes I liked in Bad Eggs are Bangel scenes. She continues, I can't wait for you to watch Surprise and Innocence. It was a big deal back then because Buffy first aired on Monday night before moving to Tuesday. Surprise was the last Monday episode, and the next day Innocence aired. It was great not having to wait a week for the conclusion.
Can't relate.
I've been waiting weeks. We're
the only ones in history that did then.
Exactly. Surprise starts the long-running tradition of Buffy having bad birthdays. Oh, that's sad. I forgot. I know, we hate that for her.
That is the plight of a Capricorn, if I ever did hear it.
She says, I forgot this was when we learned her birthday is January 19th, and she's a Capricorn on the cusp of Aquarius.
Cappies.
And then she says, some of the best episodes of Buffy are between Innocence and the finale. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Sounds like it's going to be a good string of episodes coming up.
We also got an email from Linda, who says, can we talk about how Drew is the queen of this episode? The way Juliet Landau plays her is such perfectly wicked fun.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like, very well acted, very entertaining. I really, really, really enjoy Drew.
I could not agree more. Linda says, I mean, I've got good games for everyone. You'll see. Grabbing and licking Spike's face is everything. And this is super, super interesting. I did not know this. Linda says that Juliet used to get the copies of the script early so that her and James, the guy who plays Spike, could have more time to rehearse their scenes together. The extra effort definitely shows. I absolutely love Drew and Spike together.
That's interesting. It's like, you guys, you can actually act, so you have some more time to work on it. The other one,
we don't care about Angel. Let them be soap opera.
It's like, yeah, sloppy little bitches, sure.
Drew dancing to the to Transylvanian Concubine by Rasputina, as they assemble the judge. I don't know. Is one of my favorite moments. Speaking of the judge, does he seem familiar to you ladies at all? Well, he looks like Thanos.
Yeah, we did say that.
She says, I don't want to give it away yet, I have faith that you can figure it out. That is so ominous, Linda. Is he someone from Dawson's Creek, do you think?
We are stupid.
Is he Mitch from Dawson's Creek?
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Who else could he be from Dawson's Creek? It would have to be one of the adult characters for sure.
Yeah, I really have no clue.
This is interesting. I feel like it has to be someone from Dawson's Creek. Otherwise, why would Linda be like, you should know them, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Or it could be someone from Felicity, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm dying. I'm not going to Google it. Did you just Google it? You look like you're Googling.
No, I didn't
Okay,
Google.
good.
I promise.
Okay, good. Maybe I'll figure it out next episode. It's hard when he's wearing so much makeup and stuff. You know, like he's wearing prosthetics and he's blue. So
yeah.
A few more things about this episode. Willow and Oz are such absolute cuties. I love Oz's reaction to finding out there are vampires in Sunnydale, and Cordy yelling surprise makes me laugh every time. I'm also really hoping you guys aren't turning on Jenny after her conversation with her uncle. I love her so much. What do you think about that?
I've been turning on Jenny. I'm like,
you've been out on her for a while.
Well, yeah. I'm just I just don't like lying skanks. I'm joking.
I'm really intrigued to see. It's obvious that she's not like fully against Angel or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm just interesting to see how this is going to be resolved, is what I would say. I still like Jenny.
Yeah.
Or Yana, as I should say. One final thing. I remember first watching this episode and my brother yelling out, "Oh shit, Buffy just gave Angel herpes."
What?
Did she have herpes earlier this year?
What herpes?
I don't remember. And Linda says, you ladies think season 2 has been a wild ride so far. Things are just getting started.
We're cooking with gas now. Very exciting.
That gas. So that's really exciting. If you want to send in feedback, please always do shit90spod@gmail.com, shit90spod.com. You can leave us a voicemail. And if you want to give us like 5 stars, we would also greatly appreciate it. I feel like we haven't put out the call to action in a while, Sarah, and we might as well. We're always down for getting 5 stars.
Yeah, that'd be very nice of you.
So
do it for Buffy's birthday.
Buffy always has a bad birthday. You got to give her 5 stars.
5 stars, yeah.
Yes. So that's where we'll leave things until next week when we cover Innocence. And I knew this like end run of this season was going to be good because so many people wanted to guest on the podcast for those episodes. So I think we have a lot of fun in store because not only are we going to have really fun episodes, apparently, but we're going to have some really great guests as well. So stay tuned for that.
Hurrah. Very exciting.
Yeah. In the meantime, we were also covering season 2 of Felicity. If you want to listen to that, Todd and I spoke. Sarah was absent, but that's okay. We're going to catch up with her next week on Felicity. But Todd and I spoke about the time of, what is it? What's that show called? Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone episode of Felicity. And that was really fun. So check that out. You can also hear me on Talking Shit, talking to my friend Stuart, whose voice you'll probably hear soon on this very podcast.
Oh,
yes. Sarah, what else is going on? Where can people find you? And so on and so forth.
Yeah, you can find me at Sara Fergenson, Whirlwind Pods as well. We have so much going on there, so keep an eye out. We did some Bear coverage. You and I did some Pretty Little Liars coverage. Just follow along on our social media to see what we're up to.
Incredible. So until next week, everyone, here endeth the lesson.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.